Good evening. My name is Bob Russell, and I live with my wife Ann at 88 Rolling Mead Street. I promise to tell the truth and to do it in under 3 minutes. 88 Rolling Mead Street, despite the fact it's about Russell, R-U-S-S-E-L-L. That is the last name, yeah. Robert, first name. Despite the fact that there's 20 number differences between us and the Scaveers, that we actually own the property that's catty corner to this property. And I would just like to say that tonight we're choosing not to scorn or praise the application. We feel that the board can make their own decisions there. We have a very specific request. There are trees. There are one of the things we've always enjoyed about this piece of property is the open field and the trees that flank it on both sides. And we're asking specifically that if you can include in the conditions of approval the preservation of the trees that fall within the setback, between the setback line and the lot line on this piece of property. The R5 district only has a 15-foot setback. We feel that those trees are significant and beyond the regulations. I know there was some discussion about a tree protection plan, but we're asking that you actually specifically include the preservation of those trees within that 15 feet on both sides. That would preserve the trees and also preclude the installation of driveways immediately adjacent to the property line, which is permitted under the ordinance. That's all I got.
Could you show this, the area in question on one of the slides? Where the app?
Yeah.
Well, either there, well, maybe Ms. Miak.
The distance between the lot line and the setback distance is 15 feet right in this area, preferably on both sides of the lot.
So the first 15 feet of tree line on those two lots?
Back to the microphone. 15 feet on both sides, the area that's within the setback line. These are also the areas that are designated on the drawings as possible, I don't know if you want to call them easement, Chris, but your travel paths.
Sorry, explain that to us. That's designated as the alternate passageway for the school children.
They're in those same areas, yes.
Okay.
Let's see, so that we understand. Could we put up I guess this map is up already?
Right.
Yes.
So the big trees, if they had to cut the bushes to let the kids walk through.
Yeah, I'm talking about the trees of size that come under the current ordinance.
Right. Save the larger trees, and that's why it was suggested that the path, wherever it is, meander around trees, not cut a straight path, cutting down trees that don't need to be cut down.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. The ordinance would permit those trees to be cut if they were permitted, if they were applied for to be cut down. They would be cut down. We're simply asking that the conditions of approval require the preservation of those trees that are viable.
That's acceptable with the distinction that we made between the bushes and the trees to let the kids go through.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm wondering if I can address the point that was just raised. May I do that?
Briefly, yes.
Without saying anything about whether a new home would ever be built here or a right-of-way for the people from Locust Lane would be put into place, if the property were to be subdivided and there were to be a new structure built. The Carnassa Park deed restrictions have side setbacks greater than the township. That would mean that Mr. Russell's problem disappears because he's asking for protection within that 15 feet. We have, I believe, 30-foot side setbacks, not from the property line, but from any right-of-way. So if there is a right-of-way put in, these new lots are going to have setback requirements separate and apart from any subdivision issue that are going to have to comply with our setback requirements, and you're going to have to come before the Carnassa Park Board to get approval for that. Thank you.
So setbacks are different from tree preservation. The setback lines, both municipal and private, have to do with whether the structure can encroach into that side area. The question Mr. Russell asked about was, could the trees be preserved? So they're really two different concepts. And it's acknowledged that the new home construction in Carnassa Park requires housing board approval. So there would be independent processes that would take place.
The applicant is willing to preserve the trees that Mr. Russell requested?
Yes.